Welcome to this channel. So yesterday I shared a video on the truth of Wing Chun identity and the name. And already I have many messages from our Wing Chun friends who asked me, well, Hendrik, is that true that Wing Chun is not from White Crane Weng Chun? Well, by historical evidence, not speaking like I am the reference, you look at the historic evidence and the analysis of the technology, you know it is not. Sure, in the Xiu Lim Tao writing, in the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao writing, we know that Wing Chun at the Fine Jade Association at Redwood that time, they do have the techniques imported from White Crane Fujian. Okay. However, the platform, the core of it, it is not White Crane from Fujian. So the analogy is like this. Say if I want to go fight in the MMA ring, the MMA competitions, I am a wrestler. Okay? My art is a wrestling. And because of the needs, I need to, like every grappling art, I need to learn the Western boxing jab. So I brought this Western boxing jab into my wrestling, and so I go fight MMA competition. Well, that doesn't make me a Western boxer because I'm a wrestler. My art is a wrestling. Okay? So that is exactly what it is technically. Very accurate analogy. Okay? Now, technically, if we analyze in the White Crane from Fujian, you can look at it as in today, very clearly, we can model it with what? Karate. Karate playing the Sanjin, the Tensho, which is like very soft, smoother than the Sanjin, which is harder. Karate. Okay? But karate doesn't fight like judo. Am I right? Now, White Crane derived art will be like karate. They have their structure, they have their distance, and they have their type of power generation, like the dynamic tension and so forth, like we can see in karate. Sanjin kata, Tensho kata. Okay? Hard and soft. Now there's a difference with the judo. Now, if you look at the ancient Shaolin sword strike classic, you know right away we can model the Shaolin sword strike classic even today as the peekaboo type of Western boxing fusion with judo. That will be a model for the Shaolin sword strike. Okay? So, one is the karate model, another is the peekaboo fusion with the judo type. And you see that how different they are. So the karate, the classical karate will fight the classical karate way, while the Western boxer peekaboo will fight in the peekaboo way. You notice that The White Crane is very deep into their dynamic tension, their power generations, the structure type of thing. Peekaboo, on the other hand, is deal with what? Momentum, reuse of momentum, recycling of momentum. So fundamentally, the weight of the art is different. On one hand, you have that karate, you play sanjin, tensho, those are white crane type, which is your dynamic tensions and very structured type. On the other hand, you have Mike Tyson's Peekaboo, which is always continuing of the momentum or recycling momentum handling. So today we can see it really clearly now. Okay. So Wing Chun, which is well known that it is a sticking body short strike. You look at karate and the White Crane from Fujian, they do not go stick into the body. They don't. They stay a distance, they have their hand techniques and those things. And then they have their center line and so forth. Okay? But the Shaolin short strike is saying that I'm going to facing you. Okay? I go dodging sideways to facing, and the body has to go in. So it is like the Peekaboo type. And it is closer to the Peekaboo. So what I'm always saying that if you want to learn the short strike art, sticking body short strike art, go study Peekaboo plus Judo. When you study that both, when you fluent with both, when you use it, it becomes a short strike art. Okay? Wing Chun is like that. So in past 100 years or so, if you look inside there, many Wing Chuners from the past, because they do not know this exists of this classical of 1850s. They thought that it is from White Crane Weng Chun. So you use a White Crane Weng Chun and so forth, so forth. And they end up your Xiu Lim Tao, it turned into like a Sanjin type of stuff. Okay? Or Tensho type of stuff. It no longer gives the Peekaboo, the recycling of momentum, the spin, where the Shaolin said from the tip of the toes to the head, the entire thing is spinning and using the recycling momentum, as you can read in my book, Recycling Wing Chun. Now, it is an issue now because now your set is it's just like you try to practice Judo with the Karate Sanjin. And you think that Karate Sanjin is the proper way to practice Peekaboo when you and Judo. So when you want to practice Peekaboo type of boxing, you say, well, I'm going to practice Sanjin and Tensho first. So Sanjin and Tensho will help me to good in the Peekaboo. Well, it becomes a disaster because you lost the momentum recycling of the Peekaboo, and it turned into something else. It's no longer the Peekaboo type. It is this clear now today with the writing. Okay? So yes, definitely, it is not that. Now, I'm presenting all this is not to blame. Okay? I don't blame our Wing Chun people. I don't blame the White Crane people who think they are right too. I'm just presenting the historical fact. Because for past so many decades, when the Wing Chun, Xiu Lim Tao and so forth turn into the White Crane, go into the White Crane direction, you mess that thing up. Today you can see that the Xiu Lim Tao is no longer be able to play like in the peekaboo or the Shaolin sword strike, say from the tip of the legs to the head, it spinning like you left and right, dodge and strike like in the peekaboo. You don't have that momentum anymore. Okay, so the issue is because most of Wing Chunner, 99.99999% do not know the exist of the creed, the writing of 1850. And also, even the people who practice, quote unquote, the 1850s Wing Chun, you can see in the video everybody make claim, they do not know the identity of the short finger. You go watch in the YouTube, you see many people, they will do this way with the palm, this way with the palm. They do not do it in the female style, the short finger. When you miss that, in the ancient, there's the how you check that is this people is a real inner student or not. If they are inner student, they know this is the passwords. This is a gesture, a password, right? When you do a different gesture, we know that you don't get the password. So inner student or not, people know. So if we don't know this, and we think, we speculate, of course we're going to mess up what it is. Now on the other hand, those White Crane Grandmaster, because they believe so strong in their right, is from the Southern Shaolin. Wing Chun is from Southern Shaolin. Why is Yip Man say that it is from the Songshan, Henan Shaolin? So Yip Man is wrong. I'm right because I'm White Crane Master. I know my style from Fujian. I'm the Grandmaster authority on this. Well, now you got a problem. Why? Because all of this is based on assumption. You take granted on assumption. You don't check deeper into what is going on here. Okay. So this is what's the situation now. And when the traditional Chinese martial art get into that, you know it is a dead end. You know Wing Chun is hitting a dead end already. Because it is going the direction which is not what it is. Okay? And then so when I brought out the Shaolin Sword Strike Classic, people say, oh, you know, how dare you do this? Well, why? Let's just argue for argument's sake. Because they don't know. And they just want to defend their grandmaster or so forth, so forth. But wait a minute, this is Chinese history. This is Chinese history. And when it linked to General Qi Ji Guang, you see the entire thing clear, you know what it is. So I have to make that video because all Wing Chuners deserve to know. It's not following me, got nothing to do with me, because as in the video, I say that I am digging into the Chinese history. By evidence, I tell you this is what's going on. If you don't have this, you do not have the combinations code to open the lock of Wing Chun. And so, by evidence, it is like that. Nobody is more authentic than other people. It is based on writing. You want to say, oh, this is an Apple phone, or this is a Google phone. It has to be like that, right? However, as what I mentioned yesterday. When you start to attacking Grandmaster Yip Man, attacking Wing Chuners, like Wing Chuner is a scam artist, well, that's not right. You cross the boundary. If you want to talk technical, you talk technical. And we must not blame on those White Crane Master or Fujian White Crane Master too. Why? Because they don't know. They take things for granted, assumption. They do not know the difference under that. They don't have data. They don't have the informations there. And now, when the entire thing revealed, of course, they will not be able to know what is going on. So that is the reason why I'm making yesterday's video and today's video, to clarify for you. Because this thing is going to influence the directions of Wing Chun and the survival of Wing Chun and the growth of Wing Chun. While White Crane Fujian, they have their growth and so forth, their different style, they have their perspective and so forth. But now you have the Wing Chun here. Okay? You know it cannot go into the White Crane because technologically it's unmatched. You know, this is not Wing Chun is not just a mix like you steal from this guy this guy that. It is not. It is very unfair to put Wing Chun in that position or Grandmaster Yip Man in the position. And for this salutation, this thing, this finger. That's why I don't blame on people. Why? How many people know this code? How many people know this gesture? And also, as why I proved to you all, you look into the opera. You want to talk about opera? Let's look into the real opera player. How is their hand gesture? Right away you know. So the real person who create Wing Chun is not Mui, is not Wing Chun. It's somebody in that fine jet association who is playing the female role and who is anti-Qing. That is the truth of who create. See, the Mui and Jisim, all this thing there, because there's a fiction, 100 years of fiction in China is called, in the southern China is called 万年青. 10,000 years green. Inside there, it is you have all this Jisim fighting Bak Mei, the white elbows, and then you Mui fighting this guy, the Shaolin master fighting this and that, all this. So they use that as the basis, and that's why Wing Chun is White Crane Weng Chun, and then it's from the Fujian Shaolin and so forth. Well, when I was young, I believe in those stuff too. I take for granted too. But then, the more I read the 1850s script, I say, wait a minute. This is not what it said. And then when heaven sent me the Shaolin Sword Strike Classic, I read into it. I said, now this matching. Oh, this is from the Mei. This is matching. And this, oh, I need Qi Ji Guang. That's the reason why I went to investigate in the Qi Ji Guang and ask different sifus, what does this mean? The old sifus. So they told me. I pieced the entire thing together. I said, this is what it is. So everybody deserves to know that. So I don't know about Asia. Asia have a different way of living. But I realized these few days, after have some contact with the exchange, chatting with the so-called grandmaster in Asia. I realized that I'm no longer Chinese, I'm American. I realized that I look at things in a very different way than them. I'm not saying that I'm better than them, but I'm saying that we're living in a different world. For me, since I'm a design engineer or director, the way how I was educated and I'm living in every day is to base on evidence, because it's engineering. And I feel I can understand General Qi Guang because it is engineering. He's known like a military engineer type of people in Chinese history too. Okay, because if you think about General Qi Guang, the responsibility is big. You have 3,000 men go out. How many will you you can get them to go home? Your army. They will die if you are not sure. So that actually for past few days after the communication, I stay out of Asia here on. I'm only stay in United States, in the West, and with a friend in the Europe, and I'm presenting whatever in the history as what I know. Not saying that I am perfect. I never claim that I'm perfect, but I will tell you what exactly the ancient Chinese by evidence is showing. And for the Asia Grandmaster, well, I leave them alone because they have their way of living, their environment for living. So we have to respect other people's living. So the same thing is they have to respect our Western way of living. And so this is how it become. We just come from different culture, different value systems, different way of thinking. Nothing good or bad. So there's no blaming. They present whatever they want to present, but we present what it is in the engineering way. Because at the end of the day, in the engineering way is we need to get result. We don't have those really high moral. But when we sell a product, like sell you a smartphone, this is the specifications. We need to follow that specifications. So the consumer know this is the specifications and this is the product according to these specifications. If it is not meet this specification or this quality, you can return to me, like all product. So I now go that way, because that is the way, the only way can go, because we really different type of people living in different type of culture, different type of value system. So this is what I like to share with you. So there's no argument of who is right, who is wrong, who can beat who. No, we're just talking about specification now. The specifications of ancient Wing Chun is quote unquote today's peekaboo at judo. Unless we can meet that specification, we cannot name the art as sticking body short strike. We can. Like in General Qi Guang the other day I explained in the probing horse momentum. The short strike in Ming Dynasty is they are very good in using their shoulder and the hip to get in. Shoulder, of course, is like in sticking body short strike. I explained here many times. You're going to get into this body. The hip, you bump him and you throw, like in the judo. That is short strike. So this is what I like to share with you today. Okay, let's make it this technological research review, not about martial arts. I'm no longer a martial artist. I'm interested only in the study of culture, educations, and technology. So who is better fighter than who, or who can beat who, that is not my field. My field is to see what is this going on in the history.